Before we start, make sure you're subscribed to Strange History. Here we don't just talk about what happened, we study what worked, what failed, and what was quietly forgotten. Because in the chaos of World War II, people didn't just fight on the front lines. In the Greensands, Burbides, millions of civilians defended their homes, farms, and families with whatever they could find. And surprisingly, a lot of the tools and habits that protected them back then are still some of the smartest survival assets you can keep today. Let's break down 7 pieces of World War II era home defense gear that are just as useful, maybe even more so, in 2025. During the Blitz, every home in Britain was required to block out every hint of light. City skylines vanished under thick black curtains made of heavy cloth or tar paper. Why? Because even a single candle could guide enemy bombers. The Blackout Curtain wasn't just about hiding. It was about control. The same idea applies now for anyone concerned with privacy, security, or power outages. Heavy blackout fabric insulates against heat and cold, muffles light from electronics, and keeps prying eyes out. Modern equivalents are cheap, fire retardant, and can save serious energy costs. But in a crisis, blackout, civil unrest, or even urban survival, this World War II staple is one of the simplest ways to disappear when visibility equals vulnerability. Every civil defense warden and many soldiers carried a metal air raid whistle. One sharp blast could cut through artillery, aircraft noise, or city chaos to warn others or signal help. In a world before smartphones and walkie-talkies, it was the universal language of emergency. And it still should be. A quality metal whistle carries sound farther than a human voice, doesn't need batteries, and can be used underwater or in a storm, whether you're signaling neighbors, alerting rescuers, or coordinating with family in the dark. It's one of the most overlooked but essential survival tools ever made. Today's hikers and search and rescue teams still rely on the same design used during the London Blitz. It's small, cheap, indestructible, and it saves lives. During World War II, entire nations feared gas attacks. Civilians, even children, were issued gas masks by the millions. Thankfully, they were rarely used for their intended purpose, but the technology they introduced led directly to the modern respirator and N95 mask we rely on today. While you might not need a full military-grade mask, having a reliable air filtration device in your home emergency kit is still crucial, especially for wildfire smoke, industrial accidents, or urban smog events. World War II gas mask designs focused on filtration over comfort, using activated charcoal and layered fabric. Today, you can apply that same principle with modern materials. A reusable respirator with replaceable filters does exactly what those 1940s designs promised. It keeps the outside world where it belongs, outside your lungs. The World War II first aid kit wasn't a convenience, it was, honestly, an emergency hospital in a tin box. Tourniquets, field dressings, iodine, and sulfa powder were standard issue for both soldiers and civilians. The logic was simple: help can't always reach you in time. That mindset should never have gone away. A proper home first aid kit, modeled after wartime field kits, should contain items to stop bleeding, disinfect wounds, treat burns, and stabilize injuries until help arrives. What made World War II kits special wasn't the gear alone, it was the training. Families learned how to use what they had, how to clean wounds, splint fractures, and ration supplies. In 2025, most people have better equipment, but worse skills. That's backwards. If you want a truly capable home defense setup, start where they did. Knowledge first, tools second. While soldiers carried bayonets, civilians and home guards carried utility knives, fixed blade or folding, that could cut wire, open tins, repair gear, or defend in close quarters. The World War II knife wasn't about fighting, it was about function. British Home Guard volunteers used them for sandbags and barricades. American farmers kept them for fence repairs, first aid, and food prep. A reliable knife remains one of the cornerstones of self-reliance. Forget the Hollywood combat fantasy. This was a worker's tool. Today, a solid carbon steel knife or multi-tool fills the same roll, cut, pry, scrape, fix, and protect. It's the most timeless piece of World War II survival gear because it still defines the difference between being prepared and being helpless. Not just for soldiers, civil defense helmets were issued to wardens, firefighters, and first responders across bombed cities. They were simple stamped steel bowls, but they saved thousands of lives from falling debris and shrapnel. Modern civilians don't think of helmets as home defense gear, but honestly, they should. In natural disasters, tornadoes, earthquakes, even riots, head injuries are among the most common preventable causes of death. A simple construction or rescue helmet provides the same protection those World War II helmets did, cheap insurance against chaos. The lesson here? Not every weapon in a home defense kit has to be offensive. Sometimes survival starts with not getting crushed, burned, or concussed. When bombing raids hit or power grids failed, the hand crank or battery radio became a nation's link to the outside world. Families huddled around it for news, warnings, and coded broadcasts from the BBC or resistance stations. That concept is more relevant now than ever. A modern hand crank radio with USB charging and solar backup can keep you connected through blackouts, storms, or communication shutdowns. It's quiet, efficient, and self-sustaining, the perfect mix of wartime ingenuity and modern reliability. World War II civilians didn't have the internet, but they had discipline. They listened, rationed, stayed calm, and passed on messages. That mindset combined with the right tool made ordinary people capable defenders of their communities. Every one of these World War II home defense tools was born from necessity, not luxury. They worked without electricity, without constant replacement, and without assuming anyone was coming to save you, and that's exactly why they still matter. In a world addicted to digital convenience, these analog, mechanical, and physical solutions remind us that resilience doesn't depend on Wi-Fi or batteries. It depends on preparedness and knowledge, whether it's blackout curtains that hide your light, a whistle that can call for help, or a knife that can do a dozen jobs. These pieces of World War II wisdom deserve a place in every serious household kit. If you learned something new today, if you respect the quiet genius of the past as much as I do, make sure to subscribe to Strange History. We uncover the forgotten lessons that kept ordinary people alive through the world's darkest hours, and show how they still apply today. Because sometimes the smartest gear isn't the newest, it's the one that already saved lives 80 years ago.